so excited. It just looks beautiful. Yummy, Chef. Oh, goodness, that aroma is fantastic. Oh, doesn't that look great? Hey everybody, I'm Vera Stewart and welcome to the VeryVera Show. I'm joining you today from beautiful downtown Aiken, South Carolina. And you know, there's no secret why it's been recognized as one of the best small towns by Travel and Leisure and Southern Living magazine. This is a huge equestrian location. People love to come to this area. As a matter of fact, it's known for training some of the Kentucky Derby winners. So the equestrian life is really what Aiken is noted for. There's so many things to do here related to that. The polo fields, there's fox hunts, but you know, there's a lot of other things that go on in the Aiken area too. This is a huge farming community. The farmers market that we're going to visit today has everything from meats to cheeses to baked goods, all kinds of things. And we're going to meet Chef Jason Tufts. He is a chef here at Malia's restaurant in downtown Aiken, but he does his shopping at the farmers market, so we're going to learn a little bit about that. Then when we get over to Malia's, he's going to show us one of the signature dishes of the restaurant. We're going to leave there and go to the polo field. I can't wait to see the horses, meet some of the jockeys from over there. We're going to be putting together an elevated tailgate party. And then finally, after a day like today, we're going to want to have a cocktail at the Willcox Inn. So I don't know about you, I'm ready to get started. Let's run over to the farmers market and meet Chef Jason. Oh, good morning. Look at the cute little cookies. Those daffodils are gorgeous. Oh, it's beautiful. God, your greens are gorgeous.
They are beautiful, huh?
Oh, breads and cakes, yay! Okay, so I'm joining you from the oldest county farmers market in the state of South Carolina, right here with Chef Jason Tufts, and we are so excited to be with you today.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Gosh, I love this place, and you know, when it's peak season, you better get in line at like 6:30 in the morning, because
Yes,
this
ma'am.
place opens
It will.
at 7:30 Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I know you love to shop here.
I do, yeah. I've made some really good friends here over the years. So.
Well, and everybody has their own little table. These tables, y'all, were built in 1954, and they're still the same tables that they've been using all these years. And you can find anything from fresh produce, honey, meats, baked goods, dairy products, and we love farm to table.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us a little bit about why you think that's so important at Malia's.
Well, not even just at Malia's. I feel that the symbiosis between farmers and chefs, to me, it's just paramount. You know, they're producing these beautiful products for us to use, and you know, why wouldn't we take the fruits of their hard-earned labor and transform it into something that we love to do?
Well, and you know, just listening to you talk, you know, and us today talking with so many of the vendors, you almost develop that relationship.
You do.
And it's kind of like the recipe card that makes me feel like I'm with my grandmother when I make that dish. If you've bought the honey from your friend or the baked good from someone, you know, you almost feel like you're introducing that to your customers in your restaurant.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, for me, that drive over from Augusta to Aiken is always pleasant to come to dinner at Malia's. One of the things that I love is the fact that it's so consistent.
Yeah.
And so you've got a little thing going on about a recipe book that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
think is
Yes, ma'am.
extremely important.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So when I first started, Chef Matthew and Malia's had this beautiful recipe book put together. And we put it on Google Drive now, but we follow it no matter what, every single time. Made the dish the same way 20 times, I still pull it out. Have to.
Well, and you know, maybe that's what we have in common, because in my bakery at VeryVera, you know, if you make the dish over and over, it is in your head.
Yes.
But there's something about having that recipe out, you know, and available. So tell me, we're going to be making short ribs.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what things can we maybe get up today that we will be using in that dish?
I would like to look for some leeks. We're going to do a beautiful braised leek to top that with. I'd like to look for some pecans.
Okay.
Maybe some beets and some other things. We'll just see what they have, and we'll make it out of that.
Oh, gosh, this sounds delicious. Well, One of the things that I really love about coming to a market like this is the introduction of maybe deciding to use an ingredient that you've never used before. And
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
you were just giving me some tips on an arugula dish that I can't wait to try. So we're going to get the rest of what we need to do here done, and then we're going to head over to Malia's. You're going to give us some tips on making one of the signature dishes at the restaurant there. So y'all come back with us in just a few minutes.
Yeah, we want to look at, we're probably going to grab these leeks.
Okay.
Yep, beautiful bunch of leeks there. I've already scouted your table out.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
And we're going to take the pecans.
Oh, yes.
Those are beautiful.
ma'am.
Delicious pecans.
Yep, and that will definitely get us forward in our recipes.
Great. Welcome back, everybody, and if you're just joining me, I'm in downtown Aiken, South Carolina. I'm actually with Chef Jason Tufts, and we've been at the Farmers Market.
Yes, ma'am.
We just had a delightful time over there, and we are now at Malia's restaurant, which has been in business for about 30 years.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us a little bit about the restaurant.
Malia started it 30 plus years ago. It was really neat to see a woman really come into her own, especially in downtown Aiken. A lot of male-driven businesses at the time, but the legacy that she created here has really carried us through many, many years of great service, and we're very well renowned in the community. We've got a very, very popular fan base.
Well, and you know, you are from Aiken.
Yes, ma'am.
So you actually watched all of this
Yes, ma'am.
kind of did you
Yes,
ever
ma'am.
dream that you would end up here?
No, not a million years.
Gosh, well, you are quite an asset to this restaurant, and I know I hear that from the community and the owners here. So you are one of the South Carolina ambassadors, culinary ambassadors
ma'am.
for the state of South Carolina. So tell me a little bit about that.
The program was created, I think, in 2014 from Governor Haley's office. A good friend of mine named Brandon Veely, who owns a restaurant in Ridge Spring, brought this information to her and said, hey, I've got a really great idea of bridging the gap between farmers and restaurants. Governor Haley loved it, and she brought in the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, and brought in the Agriculture Department, and they have grown it into this wonderful thing that not only does it highlight restaurants and chefs and brings attention to tourism in South Carolina,
Right.
but it helps farmers get their products out there, and it connects us chefs with products we didn't even know were available. I've met some really, really awesome people through this program.
Well, and you know, you're changing your menu based on this kind of thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is what you're noted for here. You can
ma'am.
come in and there's always something different, always something new,
ma'am.
but some of the tried and true are always on the menu. So when he said, what would you like for me to prepare? My favorite is the short ribs. So you were willing to do that for us. So walk
Yes,
us
ma'am.
through this signature dish.
Okay. We start with a boneless beef chuck flap. We prefer it boneless, just it eats better, there's not a lot of waste, and it's easier for the customer to enjoy the dish and get the flavors. We flour it with a little bit of seasoned flour, it's real simple, salt, pepper, garlic. Then we sear it in a pan, and then we deglaze that pan with a mirepoix of onion, carrot, celery, a little bit of fresh garlic, some bay leaves, sometimes black peppercorn.
Oh yeah.
We do change it up. Sometimes we'll deglaze with red wine. Sometimes we use Guinness. It depends upon what direction
what the
we're
flavor
going with it.
profile is at
Yeah.
night.
And then we roast it for covered for 4.5 hours at 350 degrees.
Well, I asked you if you wanted me to get over there and flip in the pan.
Yeah, come on.
And oh man. Well, you also helped us with some appetizers for the tailgate that we're going to do
Yes,
in a few
ma'am.
minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us about one of those dishes. I think a mushroom.
Yes, ma'am. We're doing a wild mushroom endive cup with a little bit of South Carolina pecans, and I made a brown butter vinaigrette to go over that.
Oh man, it's going to be so good. Well, we've got some work to do at the Polo Field to be ready for our elevated tailgate. So in Vera's Corner today, speaking of tailgating, I'm going to give you some tips on what you need to have with you if you're going to do any kind of tailgating, whether it's a football game or a polo match. So y'all head with us over to the Polo Fields. We'll see you back in just a few minutes. Vera's Corner is sponsored by TaxSlayer. It's your refund. Go get it. Have you ever entertained away from home, gotten to where you're going and you don't have what you need? Well, today let me give you some tips on how to make sure you get to your destination with everything on hand. When packing for your tailgate, use this checklist: clean, separate, cook, and chill. Clean. Make sure you bring soap, water if there's none available, wet disposable cloths, gloves, and hand sanitizer. Having these items on hand will ensure that you're able to do any food prep necessary while keeping your tailgate bacteria-free. Separate. If you're grilling out, be sure to pack separate plates for raw meat and cooked meat. Before you leave the house, wrap your raw meat very tightly so the juices don't touch your ready-to-eat food. Store raw meat in the bottom of your cooler. Cook. Along with your grill and fuel, your packing list should have a cooking thermometer and a minimum cooking temperature sheet. That means you too, grill master. Chill. Have plenty of coolers, ice packs, and ice on hand to store your raw ingredients and foods that need to be kept cold, like pimento cheese or potato salad. Also grab some clean containers for leftovers. Keep these tips in mind and have a great game day. Welcome back, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed those tips in Vera's Corner today on tailgating. But now we're at the Polo field. You know, Jason, we had such a good time at Malia's, all the wonderful food that we did, and now I would love to introduce you to Tiger Kneece. Tiger, you are at Whitney Field. It's historic, 138 years old. So tell us a little bit about where we are right now.
We are currently at Whitney Field. It is 138 years old, so you're correct, and it is known as the oldest consistently played polo field in the United States. That means that for the last 138 years, there's been polo played on this field every single year.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you know, when we came to do a site visit out here a few weeks ago, it was so muddy. And when I got here today, and it's just beautiful. The weather is beautiful. So you do this in the spring and then also in the fall, correct?
Yeah, and I forgot to tell you that we also organize the weather. So we set that up for you
I knew
today
you were responsible.
as well. And yeah, our club runs a spring and fall season. So we try to capture the two most best temperature seasons of the season to play polo.
Oh gosh, well, tell us a little bit, you know, for the audience that is now thinking with all of the teases we've had today about why you want to come to the Aiken area. Tell us a little bit about what they could experience if they come here.
Well, on the equestrian side, coming out to Polo, I mean, it's a great venue. As you can see, it's over 10, 12 acres of just a big green area, and people can come out, enjoy themselves, be outside, tailgate, enjoy the weather, and watch one of the oldest sports of history being played at the same time.
Gosh, and you know, it's just, we've done a beautiful spread today that Chef Jason is going to tell us a little bit more about in just a minute. But people can just pull up and do very casual tailgating, and I understand that you have contests out here sometimes too.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most important things is we offer it to everybody. So you can go from the simplest of driving up and just coming in for general admission, come out, sit down, enjoy, bring your chair. Or you can bring in a vehicle, you can tailgate, which looks like we're set up for now, or you can actually come in the historic Allen Court Pavilion, and that's what we're under right now. So we offer lots of different options for everyone to come out to make sure everyone has a way to enjoy it.
Well, it's just a beautiful venue. And so tell us a little bit, Jason, about what you have prepared, because it looks scrumptious, doesn't it, Tiger?
Well, no tailgate is complete without chicken wings. We have an elevated form of chicken wings or garlic parmesan.
Ooh, looks scrumptious.
Here we have a wild mushroom endive cup. What I've done is I've finely chopped the mushrooms, sauteed them with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, deglazed with a little white wine. I've topped it with beautiful local goat cheese that I got from a friend of mine, and some pecans from the Easley area.
Yeah.
Over here we have potato pancakes with a little bit of caramelized onion, tomato jam, and prosciutto.
That doesn't look like a southern pancake to me, does it, to you? And then what do we got down here?
We have a miniature roasted beet croque monsieur, again with the beautiful goat cheese from a friend of mine, and I've got some beautiful arugula pesto inside there just to add some nuttiness and cheesiness to this.
Oh, gosh. Well, you know, the steeplechase is held here, and tell us a little bit about that.
So that's also a big event that's held also in the spring and fall each year. They've just recently acquired a new tract of land where they're relocating it, and they're super excited. It's a big venue. It's one that everyone looks forward to every year, and there's lots of tailgating going on.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. Well, I think we need to serve some food to the players that have been so wonderful today. And then, you know, I'm getting a little thirsty. What do you think about heading over to the Willcox for a cocktail?
I'm in.
Okay, y'all come back with us in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. And Jason, thank you so much for joining me over here. We are at the Willcox Inn right here in Aiken. And, you know, I think we lost Tiger over there somewhere. He ran into some friends. But you know what? This is the place to be. After Polo, everybody ends up at the Willcox, you know, for drinks and just, you know, maybe stay on for dinner. And so I highly recommend, if you end up in this area for a polo match, that you make your reservations for dinner here at the Willcox Inn as well, because it's just standing room only. There's so much to do in this area, and certainly here for a drink before dinner. Yeah. So we had such a good time today.
We did.
You know, and you are from Aiken.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we started today at the Farmers Market, and you know, from a chef standpoint to an individual standpoint, what do you recommend in terms of which one of those days should I go to the Farmers Market, and how early should I get there?
Well, it depends upon what you want, but Saturdays are a beautiful day, but it gets very busy. I've seen people do a great job of distancing themselves, but if you want to get there any day, get there early. I personally go on Tuesday. It's perfect for me to get the items I need for the week and then go and produce them in the restaurant then.
And you know, the nice thing about this is everything you're purchasing is fresh.
Yes, ma'am.
So you get it on Tuesday,
Yes,
it's still really good for the weekend. All right, so we were at Malia's, and you made my favorite dish, the short ribs over there. And it was just so wonderful to actually be back in the kitchen to actually see. And as a, you know, a person that loves to cook and has been in the food business for years, not only is the front so beautiful, but that kitchen was immaculate. I was so impressed.
Thank you. Thank you very
so
much.
then we left there and went over to the polo fields and just, you know, watching the game going on, and the people and the way people pull up to do the tailgating and that sort of thing was so much fun. Tell me about the appetizer that we all loved today.
It was the potato cakes. So I did a chive potato cake. It had caramelized onions, a little bit of tomato jam, and some prosciutto on top of it.
Well, I think that needs to be the next special at Malia's.
Thank you.
It was just divine. And so now here we are at the historic Willcox Inn. Charming rooms, beautiful dining, a great spa, and actually FDR, I understand, used to come here, and there was an elevator that got him to his suite where he stayed here. So if you're looking for something that's like a boutique hotel, but is actually a destination where you can enjoy everything that we enjoyed today, Aiken, South Carolina should be your new go-to. So we have got a fantastic giveaway today. I'm so excited. We're gonna do a weekend giveaway. It's going to include accommodations, it's going to include where you're going to dine. Everything that we did today, you are going to get to experience. So what we want you to do is to go to all of our social media outlets, and we're going to ask you questions like, where are you watching the show? And why would you like to come to Aiken? So we're going to be doing that, and it's just hopefully going to be a wonderful experience for some lucky winner to get to experience this beautiful southern town. So, you know, I always say on the VeryVera show, no matter what you do it in good taste. Certainly you provided that for us today with everything that you prepared. I hope you'll come back and join me again. And for all of you, I hope you will come back and join me again. And certainly we hope that you will end up in Aiken, South Carolina. So cheers.
Cheers to you.
See you next week.
Thank you.
If I get asked the question for an article, if you were on a desert island, what would be the one food you would pick? My answer is always peanut butter. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, it's a perfect
it
protein.
is the perfect food.
To see what's cooking with the VeryVera Show, follow us on Facebook and Instagram and on Cottage Ketchup.
Hey, I'm Vera Stewart from the VeryVera Show. The VeryVera cookbook contains over 70 recipes for the well-loved products I sold for years in my mail order business. With recipes like cornbread dressing, sweet potato casserole, and red velvet cake, it's the perfect cookbook. It makes an excellent gift too. Visit VeryVera.com to grab your personalized copy today.